Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Hello. That was directed at you, Nathan, not just the listening audience. Hello.
I thought you were just talking to anything that might be in your vicinity.
I will do that. Honestly, it's it's been another quarantine week in the rain mostly.
Yeah.
I gotta say, good weather makes it a lot more tolerable.
It really wasn't that much different to me.
It was pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I'm able to work from home.
Yeah.
In my normal hours and everything. So
right.
I'm rain or shine, I'm just in the same seat.
Yeah.
Trying to block out the chaos around me.
Right.
While I do something.
Tapping away at your keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And just, trying to hide the deep-seated resentment that is festering inside me as I work.
Does that ever slip out in any way at all? Does it come out sideways, or?
I mean, there's threats of murder, but aside from that, no.
Oh well, okay, all right. Well, as long as
light murder.
Yeah, you're getting it out in a positive way, right? I mean, that's
it's not heavy murder; it's light murder.
Light's like under 10 people, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and gentle. It's gentle murder.
Oh, okay. A
lot of pillows involved.
Not so
very
much.
Few explosives.
Not so much with the knives and the hatchets, the meat cleavers.
Right. Nothing that you would see on an Insane Clown Posse album cover. Nothing like that.
I've gotten tired of talking to an empty chair across from me, so I put just a bunch of stuffed animals in the chair to talk to. The fun part is I talk to them even when we're not recording.
Yeah, that's definitely the sign of very good mental health.
It is slowly slipping away from me.
The good news is you probably only have, I don't know what, like two more years of this?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you're good.
It's not so bad. It's not, what do I say to that ever expanding timeline? Just crack another O'Doul's and get on with it.
Boy, you're hitting the hard stuff.
Yeah, well, we've got this thing we're trying where if we don't drink, you get $5 a day. That doesn't include the child. He always drinks.
You didn't include him because you didn't want to make him feel guilty about his drinking.
It's too hard for him. So I guess O'Doul's counts. I would have never thought of it, but she put it forward, and I thought, okay, cool. Well, that works. It tastes like beer, some kind of beer, not great beer, but beer.
More power to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't seem worth it.
That's what everyone always says, but it's actually kind of working for me. The funny thing is, it still has a bit of alcohol in it. It's less than 0.5%, so it ain't much. You would have to really put them away to get the effect of like 2 beers.
Yeah.
You would have to drink a lot of O'Doul's.
Well, if you got a 24-pack,
yeah,
what that would be the equivalent of 3 beers of alcohol?
Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? Because a normal beer is like 5%.
If we're talking like a Budweiser.
Yeah.
It's like,
Budweiser's like 5%, yeah. They should just sell it in a bladder, in beach balls that you can pick up outside.
Just give you a Boda box of O'Doul's.
Yeah, exactly. I apologize if you hear a weird noise in the background. It's just Amber squeaking this pig that she has, podcast.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like wonk, wonk.
You need to muzzle that thing.
It's very strange. So I didn't make an attempt at show prep really, but I had a random thing come up that I thought was interesting that I wanted to talk to you about, at least briefly.
That's fine. I, as always, made no attempt at show prep.
Well, I mean, that's not really what
Amber!
What we're known for on this one. I know. Everyone's being comforted, I guess, by the sounds of...
This is... you hear about ASMR. We talk about ASMR.
A lot, yeah.
This is the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
If your brain is wired a certain way, instead of getting the tingles from that sound, you just spontaneously vomit.
Yeah, I was going to say you shit yourself. Yeah.
It's like the brown note.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I was at a concert one time where they tried to find the brown note. It was Ben Folds, and he was, had some synthesizer or something on stage, and they were just playing really low, really, really loud notes. And then they would change it by like half a step, That
seems like a really good, fun idea for a concert.
Yeah.
Until the day that you actually find it.
Right.
For those who don't know, the brown note is a note that the frequency makes you spontaneously go dookie.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just imagine a full Ben Folds concert of people with soiled pants.
As opposed to another Ben Folds concert. I mean...
most of the time, like I've seen Ben Folds a couple times.
Oh, have you? I didn't know that.
And most of the time, the people there are fairly clean cut people.
They
who
truly
don't look
are.
Like
yeah.
They are likely to defecate inside of their pants. It seems unlikely with most of the people there.
Do you think there's a divide between like piano centric acts and guitar centric acts in terms of the cleanliness of the concert goers? Yeah, I do too. I feel like guitar bands inspire a little more grunginess, not in terms of sound necessarily, but in terms of
yeah. Well, and it depends who you're talking about. You know?
It's true. That's true.
Because like if you were to go see Kansas, for instance, it's probably going to be a pretty clean cut group of people in their J. Crew and Dockers.
I don't know. Some of those old hippies will be there too, though.
Do hippies like Kansas?
I don't know, man. Some hippies like anything.
I feel like Kansas came after the hippies enough that it's kind of not their thing.
They're against it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, when you think guitar, you're not thinking, someone who has worked with the New York Philharmonic, like people like Ben Folds have done.
Right, exactly.
And so it's a different group of people. Maybe classier, but also less fun. So
right.
There's that.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm imagining is, there are so many guitar bands and fewer piano bands, and I mean, the only ones I could name off the top of my head, piano bands, would be Ben Folds, Billy Joel, Elton John, Tori Amos, Fiona Apple. There's probably more, but those are the ones that spring to mind. That was a perfect way of laying them out, too, because the way you laid them out, you saw it gradually move towards the people who are more likely to poop their pants. You think Fiona Apple people are going
to... the crowd at a Fiona Apple concert is probably more likely to be into experimentation with drugs, things like that, than the people at the beginning of your list.
We saw her once. She was fantastic.
Have you heard her new album?
Some of it, yeah. Some of it.
It is on Metacritic officially a 100.
Oh, like, wow.
Out of 100.
Holy.
That doesn't ever happen.
Wow. People
I
love
think,
it, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the first time. It's
shit.
good.
Wow.
It's a good album.
What I heard
it's
was
a confusing album.
It seemed intense in places for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time I've ever listened to her, I like what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
But I always end up getting stuck in this loop where I'm like, I don't know what type of music I would say I'm listening to.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of just her own thing.
Oh, yeah. She's very singular. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm against labeling music for the most part, but also at the same time, I'm like, but now I want to try. So,
yeah. What is this? Yeah, it's true. She is very singular. There's definitely jazzy elements. Her vocal style is pretty unique.
Yeah.
Jen's a big fan, and she was saying that she was hearing a lot of like rap influences on this album, and I didn't listen to it closely enough to know, but did you pick up on that?
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah.
She just pulls in a little bit of everything, I think.
A lot of stuff, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple of, I think Questlove played drums on at least one of her records, if not more than one.
Yeah. That guy also pulls in a little bit of everything.
He's very good.
I want this on the record right now. If we ever interview anybody on this podcast.
This podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Or any podcast, but this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to interview Questlove because I feel like Questlove probably has the most stories out of any person you could ever interview.
Yeah, currently living in Lucid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people with more stories, but I feel like of the current crop of people
that could actually tell the story.
Right.
Yes.
Because they're either not like completely fucked or dead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's up there for sure. He would be a good. Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine.
I mean, I think it was like 2 years ago when The Tonight Show went on their break, hiatus, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just went and traveled internationally to write a book about food.
Really?
Because that's what you do. You know, as a hobby, you just go write a book.
I didn't know that. That's great.
He's all over the place.
Well, he has another book I've heard a few people talk about creativity. Mm-hmm. And a few of my friends were talking about it, and they seem to say, I haven't read it at all, but they seem to say it was really good. And I took it away that he's a guy who takes in a lot. Like, you know, if he's maybe working on a record, like I think he's probably a type of person that would just listens to records constantly. But
too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah, yeah. But he's of the mind of like taking in a bunch of stuff, and that helps along, you know. And some people aren't like that. Some people are more. Some people sort of like to live in their own bubble, you know,
right?
Because stuff gets in easier. I think it depends on the kind of person you are, probably.
Yeah, he is definitely a consumer of all media type.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
But I will listen to the Fiona Apple record some more. I really like Extraordinary Machine a lot, and Win the Pawn, and I'll never forget the first time I saw Criminal, the video for Criminal when I was a kid. I was like, holy shit! It looked like the most ridiculous and like hot party had just happened in that video. It was like, what y'all were doing stuff that I'm just never gonna do. Like,
just explain all of the things that were happening here.
Yeah, why are there so many people?
I've got time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
It was one of those parties where you wake up and they're like, oh my God, there are 30 people in this house, and They're asleep everywhere. There's people in the closet. People are in the bathtub. There's a guy hugging the water heater. Anyway,
that actually sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think you'd enjoy that.
No.
I don't mind a party, but I'm very selective about who I want around. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. I understand all those words.
Yeah. Only people I enjoy. Like my birthday was great. Like last year when you came and a bunch of our other friends came, that was like a perfect party.
It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. You don't like parties. You don't like humans.
That was the appropriate size of party. I'll say that.
It was less than 10 people, right? Or like 10 people tops.
It was right around 10.
Yeah. I
can handle right around 10 without getting annoyed.
Yeah.
It's any more than that, it starts getting more questionable.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I remember a few years ago for my wife's birthday, we had a party with, she had out-of-town friends come in.
Yeah.
And it was, like you've been to my house, it was in the living room and the kitchen and the library and the deck.
Oh,
and
man.
people were just in and out everywhere. It's probably like 25 people.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's roughly 23 more people than I want in my house at any given time. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's a bad party. 10 wouldn't be too bad.
No, that wouldn't be bad. No.
It's the sign that I don't like it is when it's a party where there's not like a room that I can go to that's quieter.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like I will leave specifics out of this, but someone we know had a sort of shindig at their house a few months ago.
Yeah.
And everyone showed up.
Oh boy. I don't think I did though.
Oh man. And it was like I was doing I wonder what the house looks like. Mostly just because I had to find a place that wasn't full of people crowded around talking about the many cheeses they had laid out and things like that.
The funny thing about Nathan, for everybody listening, is you don't really come off this way at all. This is all happening internally.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's very internal.
Yeah. Like you don't seem like you're having a tough time when you're in these situations.
Here's the thing. I'm oddly sociable. I do fine. There's no part about this where I feel like anyone is going, oh, he doesn't want to be here.
Right.
But anyone who knows me listening, just know, I don't want to be here.
Don't invite him to things. Yeah, I can't hide it if I'm not. I have a hard time hiding my emotions. I can do it for a little while. I can fake it in some scenarios, but I can be pretty standoffish sometimes, or super, super into it. It just depends on what's going on.
I will say it also helps if I have 2 drinks.
Yeah.
That's like the sweet spot right there. Not one. One's not enough.
Right.
When you get to 3 or 4, then it's just like, I don't want to listen to things right now.
Yeah.
2 is the sweet spot.
There is a turning point. I know what you mean. Yeah. 2's good. I could probably do a couple more than that. But then I just get tired, and there's a point where I'm just tired.
Plus, you doing a couple more than that, you only drink O'Doul's, so
right. So it doesn't matter.
You're stacking those on top. You're almost a half a beer by then. So.
I know. It's getting wild. I'm on my way to that criminal video, closer and closer all the time.
Did you know that was the official drink of that video?
Oh, I didn't. You know what's funny? Yeah. O'Doul's, oddly enough, is the official brew of the PGA Tour. Go figure.
Is that in response to John Daly?
I don't know. What's the deal with John Daly?
John, oh man, how do I describe John Daly to you?
Is he a golfer?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, back in I'd say he started in the 90s. Jonathan Daly joined PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And you know how your typical golfer you imagine has pleated slacks and is very buttoned up?
Yeah. Yeah.
John Daly probably lived in an RV. Like, that's the best way I can describe John Daly.
Okay.
So, like, you know, an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. Lemonade, half tea.
Yeah. John Daly is an Arnold Palmer with vodka poured.
Oh!
That's all you need to know about John Daly.
Wait, that's a real drink?
I believe if you went to a bar, most people would know what you were talking about.
Okay. And so he was wasted all the time when he was golfing.
He was, we don't know if he was wasted when he was golfing.
Okay.
Don't speak out of turn, sir. But probably, yeah.
And he was definitely wasted when he got back to the RV.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Just imagine, like, the movie Happy Gilmore and how everyone in that movie reacted to Happy Gilmore.
Right.
That's how they should have reacted to John Daly.
Oh, wow. Was he a good golfer? I mean, obviously he was. Yeah.
He wasn't too bad. Probably would have been better if, he tried.
Laid off the sauce a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about a golfer. I mean, I don't know anything about golf, but about a guy who, like, I guess you think of golf as a leisurely sport, but most of them do exercise,
Right.
and take care of themselves. But I don't think it's the same dude. I don't think this guy was a drunk. But it was some other dude, and I have no idea what his name was, but he would sort of start the day with like a Diet Coke, and he smoked, and he washed his own dishes. Like he didn't use a dishwasher. He washed all his dishes by hand. He just seemed like an interesting cat. I don't know what his deal was, but I think he was really good. I think he was up there in like the top 5 or something, but I don't know much about him. And he didn't exercise. He refused. Yeah.
I don't know. It might be. So I've pulled up John Daly here on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Which would you like to hear more? The incidents during golf tournaments that contributed to his, quote, wild thing image.
Oh.
Or the entire section labeled alcohol.
I think I want to hear both.
Okay. So incidents. We'll start there. During the 1998 PGA Tour, who cares? No one cares what any of these tournaments are called. He used a 3-wood to hit six golf balls into the water during the final round.
6?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's like an obscene number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of just not doing that, he was stubborn and kept doing the same thing.
Lost his shit.
In the 2000 U.S. Open, he shot a 14 on the par 5.
Oh, wow.
He hit 3 golf balls into the Pacific Ocean and hit another into the backyard next to the fairway. In 2002, after making a triple bogey, Daly threw his putter and ball into a pond and later failed to sign for a 78 on his scorecard, disqualifying him. He was later fined by the Australian Tour and was ordered to write a letter of apology to a tour official he verbally abused.
Oh my God.
In 2008, he broke a spectator's camera.
Whoa.
Just broke it. No details, just broke the camera.
He took it out.
Let's see.
Damn.
A lot of him just being stubborn and continuing to hit balls he shouldn't have been hitting. First off, this is another thing you need to know about John Daly.
Okay.
There's also a section labeled music career.
What? Wait,
in 2007,
how did we have nothing planned and then we stumbled on a fascinating person to talk about?
John Daly. How is this? How is he not a movie? By the way,
Yeah, seriously.
I would watch this.
Yeah.
By the way, Danny McBride definitely has to play John Daly. It just seems right. He provided backup vocals in 2007 on Kid Rock's song "Half Your Age."
Oh God. Oh God.
In 2010, he released his second album called "I Only Know One Way," where he wrote and co-wrote 8 tracks, and he also had one track featuring Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish, and I don't care if his name's Darius Rucker, his name's Hootie.
Holy shit! So it was a country album, probably.
Yeah, it was on GMV Nashville.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming so.
That would be country. Yeah. Wow.
This is an important one here. In October, this is as John Daly as it gets. On October 26, 2008, Daly was taken into protective custody by Winston-Salem police. By the way, you never hear Winston-Salem in a good context.
No, you really don't. Yeah.
It's never like, wow, that hero in Winston-Salem saved a bunch of people. Wasn't that cool? Anyway.
No, it's an edgy place, yeah.
Yeah. Was taken into protective custody after being found drunk outside of Hooters.
Oh, man. This guy is batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Or golfing, whatever.
Yeah. He committed to not drinking after that, supposedly.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I can't say whether that's true.
Hooters in Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
My God.
He also has a gambling problem.
Oh, Jesus
He claims
Christ.
to have lost between $50 and $60 million over 15 years.
That can't... Well,
I didn't even know that.
That's a lot of money. Do you get paid that much as a golf person? I guess you do.
I mean, if you're good.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Because
yeah.
In golf, you get paid based on how you finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and sponsorships.
Right, yeah, right, okay.
Like, that's when Tiger Woods was in his heyday. He wasn't making the biggest part of his money off of win tournaments. He was making it from Nike and his video game and
yeah, right,
etc.
I'm John Daly for Bacardi. I mean,
I can't drive a golf ball without it. John Daly. It's I guess it's possible.
Poor bastard. Yeah.
Speaking of gambling and sports, we have been in my house watching the ESPN Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh, how is that?
It's good. But so this would have been during your childhood. You would remember Michael Jordan playing baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory related to this?
No. There's a conspiracy
They actually discussed
theory?
this. Oh, yeah. They discussed this in the documentary.
Okay.
Which was really surprising to me. Because, just giving you the background, the documentary basically was all signed off on by Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Like, he had to sign off on things, and that was how they got him to let them film him.
Okay.
Last season. Anyway.
Right.
So, the conspiracy theory here is much like our favorite golfer, John Daly. Which I'm saying unironically because he is my favorite golfer.
I mean, he's mine.
I don't like any golfer, and he's much more interested than any of them.
Right.
Michael Jordan had a serious gambling problem. Still probably does. Because based on the documentary, he is still in the denial phase of every...
Oh, no. MJ,
anyway,
no.
So, his last season before he retired to play baseball, all of this started coming out about him gambling. Like, during the playoffs, he they had lost a game in New York, and so he went to Atlantic City that night and was till 4 a.m. Being seen by people gambling.
Oh no!
And all this stuff about this shady guy who got arrested, having a check for, it was around $50,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So the conspiracy theory here is, Michael Jordan, obviously the biggest name in basketball.
Yeah.
At the time, probably one of the biggest names in the world.
Definitely.
But the NBA doesn't want to, suspend the biggest name in basketball and tarnish his reputation and thus make it where they can make less money off of him.
Right.
So instead, the commissioner, David Stern, of the NBA, went and told him, listen, you're about to get suspended. If you can retire
right,
and just, back away for a little bit, we don't have to announce a suspension. And then he went and played baseball. I'm not saying it's true.
Whoa, okay.
But that's a solid conspiracy theory.
So the baseball thing is ancillary, right?
Right.
It was about the suspension, but the baseball thing's a hell of a red herring because everybody was like, okay. I mean, what was the? It's
still the weirdest thing. That
it is, yeah.
Like, just imagine. I'm trying to think of anyone who. We'll say LeBron James.
Yeah.
If LeBron James right now went, I'm kind of done with basketball. I'm looking into football now.
Yeah, right. That would be very... Wait, didn't LeBron just die?
No, that's Kobe Bryant.
Oh, it was Kobe Bryant. God damn, I'm sorry.
Kobe Bryant was retired before.
Oh,
so if he tried to make it in baseball or football, it would have been very shocking.
Yeah, okay.
Not as shocking as it would be now if you were trying to.
Oh boy.
But still pretty shocking.
Sorry, I don't know my basketball. Okay, it was. Yeah, I do. I mean, because Michael Jordan was. Again, not a sports person at all. But he was huge. Yeah, of course. I had shoes. That had him on the side, like his profile of him dunking. He was ginormous.
If you were growing up in the 90s, like we were,
yeah,
you knew two sports figures. You knew Michael Jordan, and you knew Ken Griffey Jr.
I was going to say,
two.
It's weird. I was going to say, actually, there's two others I think of, Nathan.
Okay.
And here's why. You'll understand why. I think of Wayne Gretzky, and I think of Bo Jackson. And the reason I think of those, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson, is because they had a cartoon show. Do you remember that?
That's true. They did, didn't they?
I think it's called Sports Stars or something like that. But they were like they were themselves. They played themselves. And I think they actually did the voices. Maybe at least for like one episode or something. Maybe Gretzky did it the whole time. Who knows? But they did. There was a sports cartoon, and they were like the Avengers or something.
So, this is veering off topic of sports, which I know you're going to be disappointed about.
Always.
I feel like we were just about an inch away from getting like our own Barstool Sports radio show.
Ooh.
We just needed to demean some women first, and then we'd be good.
Yeah, we'd be good. It's a very important part of the shows.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So Obama did a lot of good things while he was president, right?
Whoa.
No, you'll see the connection.
Okay.
He did a lot of good things.
Yes.
However, I have an issue with him that I've discovered recently.
Okay.
You know how he was very into educating children and wanted to increase the educational programming on TV?
Yes.
Man, he fucked up Saturday morning cartoons.
Wait, what? Wait.
They're nothing now. Have you ever looked at TV now? It's all educational programming on Saturday mornings.
Wait, Saturday morning cartoons are gone?
They're pretty much gone. It's all educational programming.
And that was because of Barack Obama?
I believe it was him that was, like, oh, kids need to know things. Whatever.
I mean, Saturday morning cartoons was the greatest thing. I looked forward to that all week.
It was like a month ago. I was like, okay, my child is up. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I am going to introduce him to Saturday morning cartoons.
Right.
And I turn it on, and it's like a show where people are doing science experiments.
Oh, fuck that. Come on. Like,
no,
what?
No one watched Bill Nye on Saturday mornings. That's for when there's a substitute in science class.
That's exactly right. Or whenever it came on TV. I don't remember. Like, really early on Saturday, I think.
I honestly don't think I ever watched it on my own TV set, but I've probably seen every episode of it.
Yeah, you probably have.
Because it was every time there was a substitute.
All right, here we go.
Up in the Bill Nye.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, going back to Michael Jordan for a second, I have a Ninja Turtle. This ties in both things. I have a Ninja Turtle who is a Michael Jordan Ninja Turtle. He's got the 23 and everything.
That wouldn't exist now.
I know.
Because there's no Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, and no Michael Jordan. No.
No, there's still a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He's just a lackluster owner of the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, I didn't realize that. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the Charlotte Hornets and their success, and that's why you didn't realize that. I'm going to... Somehow... This is going to make its way to Michael Jordan because he just has someone out there trying to find any media that is critical of him.
Right. Yeah.
And then Michael Jordan's going to make a new documentary where he is aggressive towards us on it, just like he is everyone else. Oh. Yeah. It's funny watching this documentary because Michael Jordan's not what doesn't seem like what I would call a fun person.
Oh.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So early in his career, the biggest rivalry they had was with the Pistons.
Okay.
And their point guard was Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
The Pistons were a rough team. They fouled a lot. They were very aggressive.
Okay.
He still, to this day, in the documentary, will say, I hate Isaiah Thomas.
Wow. Jesus.
Like, he is harboring some 40-year-old resentment.
Michael, you got to let that shit go. Let it go for you, bro.
How many championships did you win, and how many did Isaiah Thomas win?
Right.
You can just relax a little.
I know. I mean, I don't even know I'd never heard of Isaiah Thomas until tonight, but
he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's good.
He's not Michael Jordan.
Right.
They're not. People aren't going and trying to find a new pair of the Isaiah Thomases.
There are four things I know about Michael Jordan. The fourth being that he harbors resentment. One is basketball. Two is that he played baseball, and it was weird. And three is Hanes. He was all over those Hanes ads.
He's the only athlete that, for a period of time, we all knew what kind of underwear he owned.
Right. Yeah. Or at least
there was
had a bunch. Yeah.
Well, I think that he was pretty dedicated to the brand.
You think so? You think you wore them every day?
Mm-hmm. Probably some Hanes jockeys.
Yeah, probably. I just had a weird mental. I was thinking about Gretzky again, and I was thinking, I wonder what Gretzky. And then I was like, silk inside his ice palace.
Oh no, that's definitely true.
His ice palace, his hockey, frozen ice palace.
Just think back to like early '90s Gretzky with his flourishing hockey mullet.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. That thing was incredible.
Yeah. No, silk all the way.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he sort of looked like he could have walked out of Top Gun. You know what I mean? I
would imagine Wayne Gretzky for like a 3 to 4 year period in his career, had a time when he only wore kimonos around the house.
Yeah. he's the hockey-centric Bond villain we never had. Yeah.
And no one's ever going to convince me otherwise. You can show me pictures of Wayne Gretzky in just, casual sweats in his house. Nope. He had kimonos.
It's
staged.
The lost film where James Bond goes to Canada and has to fight an evil hockey team.
Well, that movie would be terrible.
Yeah.
Because the villain would be a little bit too polite and probably just let him go. Oh, you want to go, eh?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I thought we were playing this thing out together.
Oh man, now I want to see a Canadian villain in any movie. Really,
honestly, it's ripe for the picking. I don't think there are many Canada-centric. There are a few. I know there is a couple Canada-centric superheroes. They're not well known here. But I don't know of any Canada-centric villains. Like,
what do the Canadian superheroes do?
Well, okay. Technically, Wolverine is Canadian, actually, depending on what timeline you follow. So there's a good one. There's also, I know there's a guy with a big maple leaf on his chest. And I think that's all I know, actually. I know there's a team, and I can't remember, Alpha something? I can't remember what they're called.
I've got it pulled up. Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight, yeah, that's it. Alpha Flight. Good job.
They all look very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure they're super, super cool.
The team serves as Canadians' premier superhero team, akin to America's Avengers, eh? I added part to that. I'm not going to tell you what.
Good. Good.
Most team members have distinctly Canadian attributes, such as having Inuit, First Nations, or French heritage.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I got that.
Oh, man. They had a comic series that lasted 130 issues?
Oh, yeah. Alpha Flight's not a small deal. The X-Men would run into them sometimes. You'd have, the odd issue where they'd be in Canada and they'd run into Alpha Flight.
All right, I'm out. This is the most ridiculous. The list of these people are insane to me.
Isn't there like a Yeti guy or something?
Well, okay, so there's Guardian, who was originally named Weapon Alpha.
Oh, yeah, Weapon Alpha. Hell of a name.
He is sometimes the team leader and wears a stylized Canadian maple leaf flag.
That's the guy I'm thinking of.
Jean-Paul Boubert from Montreal, Quebec, is a mutant with powers of super speed and light generation. He is also the team's gay member.
Oh, that's a right on. They made the French guy the gay guy.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
it's a little on the nose, y'all.
They went. We need it. I mean, this was in the 80s. It sounds like so.
That's progressive.
Not real open.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't. Oh, we need a gay member. Who should it be? It was. That guy's French.
So obviously,
he's gay.
Yeah. Got this one figured out.
His sister has dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, Christ! What? Oh man, that's real rare too.
Yeah, she has the same powers, but has dissociative identity disorder. And I've officially decided that they hated the French.
Yeah, bummer. This was definitely written by someone in Ontario.
Yeah. Sasquatch.
That's the one.
He's a scientist who can transform into a giant fur-covered beast resembling a Sasquatch.
Fucking A. That's what I'm talking about. He's like Canada's Hulk.
That's exactly what it says here.
Oh, really?
He developed his powers from a Hulk-inspired gamma radiation experiment.
Boom. There's a lot of interesting offshoots of Hulk. That's one. And then, there's the She-Hulk, who I love. But anyway.
Shaman.
Shaman. I'm not familiar
He's
with
a First
shaman.
Nations medicine man.
Ah, okay.
That sounds questionable.
There's a lot going on in Alpha Flight, sounds like.
He's both a skilled doctor and a sorcerer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then Snowbird, the Inuit demi-goddess.
Oh, shit.
She can transform into animals of the north.
Only the North.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Man, I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of problematic things happening here.
It really does. It really does.
Oh, here are some other people who got promoted.
Ah, okay.
Marina, an amphibious woman from Newfoundland. She was a former member of Beta Flight before she got promoted to Alpha Flight.
Oh, no, Beta Flight just doesn't sound right.
No. And then there's Puck. He is a dwarf bouncer from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon, you don't say. This is like Minnesota got a fucking superhero team. Jesus Christ.
And then I'm noticing the further down on this page I go, the more obvious it is that they just stopped trying.
Yeah.
Because Volume 3, there's Major Maple Leaf.
Oh, boy. Phoning it in. Does it say anything about their villain? Sorry, go ahead.
He's secretly a normal human who rides a superpowered horse. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Wait, he's like a super mountie? Is that kind of... I mean...
No, he's a regular mountie.
Okay.
Really, the superhero is his horse.
Yeah, the horse is a super mountie horse.
But good luck getting Major Maple Leaf to admit that.
Oh.
Let's see, Puck 2 is the daughter of Puck.
Puck 2?
Yeah, Puck 2.
Really?
Yeah.
That just bugs me, honestly.
They clearly they killed off Puck and then went, oh, but no one has dwarfism anymore in this series. How can we fix that?
I felt like we really had something going there with the whole dwarf angle. Jesus.
Oh, man.
Jesus. Wow.
This is notable villains.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Bedlam.
Bedlam. Oh, that's a good villain name.
That's
actually.
a good name for
a good one. Yeah, that's good.
Caliber. Citadel. Deadly Ernest.
Ernest as in a guy named Ernest?
I assume it's Ernest like the Ernest movies.
Ernest P. Worrell?
Yeah. The Derangers. Dream Queen. Gilded Lily.
Oh, interesting.
Great Beasts.
The Great Beasts, huh?
Oh, man, there's a lot there. I'm not reading any of that.
I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we did.
This is single-handedly the worst idea for superheroes I've ever heard of, and also the one Marvel movie I want someone to make.
I know, right? Like, not a series either. Like, I want a full-on flick, you know? Come on.
Yeah, I want a full 2.5 hour long Alpha Flight movie, and I want them to not change it. I want it to be as problematic as it sounds right here.
Like, pick like 10 issues that came out in 1983 and make that into a movie.
I want the medicine man shaman guy to be super problematic, and just to make sure that they put the icing on the problem cake, cast like Ben Affleck or something.
Oh, obviously. That's the way to do it. Matt Damon is the medicine man. If there was a Nashville centric superhero team, who do you think would be on it?
Oh man,
there was a comic. I picked it up for free one time.
That tells you how good it was.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like a kid who got like electricity powers. I'm struggling to remember the name. It might have been Nash or something. I don't recall. Yeah.
I think we can agree that whoever it was, the origin story
Yeah.
would involve some sort of incident involving like getting electrocuted by their guitar amp.
Oh, I think so. That's good. Yeah. That's good.
Like they go to plug it in and there's a power surge or something and they get all the honky-tonk powers.
All the honky-tonk powers?
Every one of them.
He can beam someone with an empty beer bottle at like 100 yards.
Mm-hmm. And his whatever he wore, it would definitely have hints of a nudie suit.
Oh yeah, that's actually good. I've never seen that in a comic.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of fringe.
Yeah.
Way too much fringe.
I like it. And we should have a young woman who's like an aspiring singer-songwriter, but she's like, I don't know, her fingers turn into missiles or something. I don't know. Something in that vein.
Yeah. I was worried that you were going to go the typical way where she's a singer-songwriter that has to be rescued on a nightly basis by by the superhero.
Oh no. She's on the team, definitely.
Right. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I think there should be a barista who can like multiply himself into like 40 baristas.
But his real power is just annoying you by having too many of them.
That's right. But he's really good at making coffee.
He has all of East Nashville's hipster powers.
Yeah, that's it.
So he just goes into a place, multiplies, and takes it over. I don't know. That may be a villain.
Actually, he might be. Yeah, the barista. There you go. That's a good villain. I like that. Very good, Nathan. Very good. And he just makes the price of records soar, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The price of everything good. What do you mean a PBR is $7 now? Barista!
These tacos have what in them? Huh? That's not a taco.
Why are we pickling cabbage?
Ooh, I got another one. This is maybe not that nice, but like kombucha boy who just sprays kombucha from his eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
From the eyes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
from the eyes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You hate that. That burns.
It's homemade. Well, it doesn't burn him so much, but...
Right. Well, he's used to it at this point.
The first time, really, really bad. Really bad. Mm-hmm. Smells like vinegar all the time. Not fun. Not a fun way to live.
Also, I feel like there needs to be sort of like a Master Splinter type of situation.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's just like this old singer-songwriter that's always busking on the street.
Yeah.
That teaches them to harness their powers.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Real wizened old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like the Marlboro Man, but it's
exactly
at 70. Well, or 50, but he looks about 70.
35, but he smoked as much as the Marlboro Man, so it counts.
I like that. And they all meet around, downtown on Broadway. They have like a back door into Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, say, where that's their lair. They meet under Tootsie's.
Oh, perfect. And then they spend most of their time trying to stop the bachelorette parties.
Ooh, that's a good villain, the bachelorette. She commands an army of pedal taverns. Autonomous.
She is, of course, the one in the white tank top.
Yep.
Her minions all have the black tank tops, the matching black tank tops behind her.
That's right. Oh my God, we need to actually make this. This is incredible.
Oh man. It's I feel like it's a losing battle for them.
Yeah. I don't know how well they're gonna do. We came up with two villains. We came up with villains a lot easier, I think, than...
Yeah, well, that's because we have a strong dislike of people.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy.
But Honky Tonk Guy is like he's the Superman of our scenario.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he probably needs to be more of a Batman type.
Yeah.
Where he can like throw picks.
I like that. That's
guitar
good.
picks at people. I don't know what else he possibly would have with him all the time unless he's carrying a guitar, but that's a lot.
Well, yeah, I think he is that prop heavy because he's like El Mariachi, you know, like that Robert Rodriguez movie or like Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's a good point.
He's got a lot of shit in there. Like the guitar lifts up, you know, and underneath there's an arsenal, you know what I'm saying?
Can he fire things out of the guitar neck?
Absolutely. Of course he can.
I mean, not bullets, because he's a superhero. They don't, for whatever reason, ever invest in guns.
Well, some do. Some do. Your Punisher types.
Right.
The people who, you know, who have a death wish, sort of, or...
But, I mean,
you know.
Think about... I don't know if you've ever just thought about how weird it is that Batman...
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is a billionaire.
Right.
He's buying all sorts of weaponry. But instead of getting a gun, it's just like, hey, I want like a boomerang but shaped like a bat. Yeah!
I mean, that's the crucial thing about Batman. That's in many ways what makes Batman Batman. You know?
That he makes poor decisions on weapons.
He's always riding that line, you know?
It would be a much, like every movie would be a lot shorter if he had a gun.
That's true. Right. That's actually, I think you hit upon one of the big problems. And I know, like, the first few issues where Batman appears, he had a gun and he killed people in the first few issues, like back in, what, the 30s or whatever?
And then people decided that wasn't pleasant and didn't like it.
That's not enough, right? We need we need more, you know, more intrigue.
After he killed the villain on page 3 and they went,
damn it.
I got 30 more to go? Oh boy.
We ran out of story. Shit. What if we gave them some way to always get away with their life?
Let's just put them in the worst guarded prison asylum type of situation we can ever dream up. They just escape.
They do.
Frequently.
Constantly.
It's a constant thing. Like the people living in Gotham, when they watch the evening news, and the story is, breaking news tonight, the Joker has broken out of Arkham Asylum. The people in Gotham City have to just be going, okay.
So it's Tuesday.
It's, boy. Well, hopefully this isn't the time he gets me.
And then the smile creeps up on their faces as the green gas enters the room.
Dun dun dun.
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.